Hello, I'm Andy, and I'm going to read to you a tarot monthly horoscope for zodiac signs, and this one is for you coming from Cancer. So let me give my tarot cards a shuffle, and I'm going to divide the month of March into two. And so the first card that I'm going to pull is going to be dealing with your first 15 days of March. Now, when I look at this card, it's upright, and that means that the card has more control and you have less control. So fate has more control. Now I'm going to talk about your first 15 days for areas of career. Now your areas of career in the first 15 days has support, but it has also opposition. It says you need to improve your knowledge of what you are doing. So you may not be in a good position in the first 15 days whereby that you know how to cope with your responsibilities, and you need help for that. But it says that the luck is with you, and in the first 15 days you may find that you are changing to a different department or so, and that part of it is okay. Is that the knowledge that you have in hand may not be enough to make yourself sparkle in the area of career for the first 15 days. So get help from your colleagues or from superiors. Don't be shy about saying that you need help to understand your responsibilities more. Let's go to business for the first 15 days. The business here says, do not take the risks. Don't be hasty and impatient in chasing for business in the first 15 days. Otherwise, you will have a danger of having to invest and not get returns properly. So the first 15 days are quite frustrating, and the first 15 days in business, the warning is not to venture into areas of business that you have no proper knowledge of. So the knowledge commodity becomes very important in the first 15 days. If you don't have it, don't take risks in going to the new businesses for the first 15 days. Otherwise, you're going to be handicapped in the sense that able to get out of it is going to be difficult, and the card is not very happy with you. Okay, now I'm going to give you some ages to tell you that for the first 15 days, if you are going to be of these ages, then you may find difficulties a little bit more than other ages. So if you happen to be the ages of 24 or 33 or 42 or 51 or 60 or 69, and if you are in business, tell yourself that a danger can be that your investments you made may be not well made. And in the general business trend, if you're of these ages, you're going to find that money is more out than coming in, which means that expecting returns, you're going to have difficulty if you are of these ages which I mentioned. If you are not of these ages, then you'll have a better path moving forward. Okay? Now let me stick to this card. Let me talk for the first 15 days about romance areas. Your romance areas in the first 15 days are not very steady. And the problem here shows that the compatibility will weaken between you and your romantic partner in the first 15 days. All is not lost, by the way. All is not lost, but you have to make big attempts to keep the romance on a stable level. So you cannot afford to argue or to quarrel. That is the biggest danger shown from this card. And at the same time, you cannot afford to be rebellious in nature, and don't discuss past issues. Otherwise, your romance is going to be put under pressure. Now I'm going to use this card for marriage as an example. So as an example for marriage for the first 15 days, this card shows that both you and your marriage partner are looking in different directions. So there's not much of an agreement to be formed in whatever the problem is in marriage. So rather than force the issues to find a way that you want the marriage to go, the word compromise would be the best for you. Don't look for the perfect situation in marriage for the first 15 days. Allow the marriage to find its own solution slowly. So patience in the first 15 days is going to be very important. And in your marriage area also, it says that the level of quarrelsomeness or bad communication can bring extreme problems for you. All right. Now I'm going to pull another card out. Excuse me. I'm going to pull another card out, and this card is to deal with your last 15 days of March. So let's start with your career areas for the last 15 days of March. Now this card is upside down. When I'm looking at it, as I pulled it, it's upside down. So that means that you have more control over circumstances this time. Okay? So now let me turn the card the right side up and see what is being promised to you in career. Now, this card does show that you attract opposition, or you can create a confrontation, or that you can be provocative in the last 15 days of March, you coming from Cancer. So expect this and try not to retaliate. That is the key. If you retaliate, this card shows that the retaliation causes fire to expand, and the situation will become much worse for you. Also, the card shows not to allow your ego to get out of hand. Don't be a perfectionist. Otherwise, you coming from Cancer in areas of career are going to have plenty of issues. So don't allow your ego to interfere in here. So I make your last 15 days for you coming from Cancer as difficult actually. Although the card said you have some control over it. So if the card says you have some control over it, you'll be able to handle things better. But I see here as confrontation and difficulties in the last 15 days as pretty strong for you in your career areas. So you cannot afford to take it easy. Okay. Now I'm going to use this card to talk to you about business as well. Now in your business area, this card for the first 15 days, for the last 15 days, it says that you are going to find that the competition can beat you. You're finding that your popularity in business is not very strong. It says that there are many competitors now, and you will find that as you are looking for new contracts or trying to satisfy the contracts you have, you are going to be under difficulty. So there is a little bit of gloom shown in the last 15 days where business is to be seen. There is only, I can see a little, about 15 or 20% of help coming from this card. And so I would urge you that the last 15 days, do not take risks of either chasing business or the business in hand. Do not take risks of doing a shoddy job. Otherwise, you're going to have difficulties in the last 15 days in areas of business. Now, regarding romance, the last 15 days shows that there's conflict and there's a difference of opinion, and that can bring a separation of some kind. The separation may not be physical, but it may be mental, where you don't want to communicate anymore. So watch out that the last 15 days produces a lot of clashes, and that your ego should not come in the way. Otherwise, you're going to be a person so egoistic that you become a perfectionist in the last 15 days, and that doesn't give room to maneuver and to improve your marriage areas. So difficulties, and the other difficulty about the marriage shown here is that past issues may come up, and therefore the blame game can start as well. If your partner starts that, don't get involved. That would be the best way. So in areas of romance, some difficulties. Now I'm going to your marriage area, and it shows again that in your marriage area, don't bring out old issues to be discussed. Otherwise, there will be trouble. It also shows that your marriage will have obstacles, so it's a bumpy ride for you the last 15 days of March. And for you coming from Cancer, be cautious that you can be very provocative, or you can attract a lot of provocation. So in romance and marriage areas, for you coming from Cancer, the last 15 days are certainly not helpful at all. The only way now is to control yourself. If your partner gets difficult, don't add fuel to the fire. And if you don't add fuel to the fire, you'll be able to bring the flames down very fast. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you some ages for the last 15 days. The ages which might produce extreme problems and things getting out of hand. Now, if you happen to be the ages of 17 or 26 or 35 or 44 or 53 or 62 or 71, then be careful that the last 15 days in areas of career, business, in areas of romance, marriage, they can all turn very bad for you. Okay? So don't take risks. If you are not of these ages which I mentioned, you will have a certain amount of control to see through things in a better way. All right, now I'm going to look at both your cards together and recommend some colors that you use which may be very helpful for you. Now, for you coming from Cancer, I would urge you to use a lot of gray for the month of March. In the month of March, if you use gray, you will attract a lot of attention from planets who rule the color gray, and this would be a good group of planets. So wear a lot of gray if you can, undergarments, top garments, touch gray wherever you can, and you will be luckier. And also I'm going to give you directions where when you face certain directions in the month of March, for you coming from Cancer, you will find that your wishes can come true, and also that when you try to meditate or find solutions, the solutions will come. The directions which I like the best for you are southeast. So try and face southeast and you will do very well in the month of March in whatever you desire and making wishes for. I'm already Skyping and I charge 50 USD, 50 USD for a session of about 75 minutes. And I will know your full date of birth by then from you and your time of birth. And on Skype, I'll be asking you to show me your palms. And then we can do an accurate horoscope for you for the next 5 or 6 years. All right? So do go to Facebook and communicate with me, follow me and communicate with me, ask me questions, and I will tell you how to make the payment, and we can fix up a date and a time to Skype. Until then, thank you and goodbye.